Finding common ground with family, especially with a mother-in-law, is a common journey of intentional living and deep patience. We often go into the kitchen hoping for a movie moment of connection. But what happens when the vibes are off? In today's video, we are discussing the reality of family dynamics and how to stay calm and grounded through God's grace, even when your efforts to bond don't go as planned. What you will learn. Why seeking common ground is essential for a peaceful home and a lasting family legacy. How to use the pivot to shift a tense conversation during meal preparation. Practical conflict resolution scripts for daughters-in-law and mothers-in-law. Understanding that what works for some might not work for others, and that's okay. Let's dive in the importance of common ground. Establishing a shared foundation helps shift the relationship from one of obligation to one of connection. It creates a safe space where trust is built. Finding small things you both enjoy reduces defensiveness and opens the door for more meaningful conversations. Assumptions are broken. It's easy to misunderstand intentions. Shared interests allow you to see each other as individuals rather than just roles within a family. Legacy is preserved. Identifying common values ensures that family stories and wisdom are passed down in a healthy, positive atmosphere. The power of the shared meal. Preparing a meal together is a physical act of service that can serve as a spiritual exercise in patience and unity. By God's grace, the kitchen can transform from a place of work into a place of bonding through 1. Side-by-side connection. In many high-stakes relationships, face-to-face conversation can feel intense. Working side by side, chopping vegetables or stirring a pot allows for low-pressure communication. The focus is on the task, which often makes it easier for stories and laughter to flow naturally. 2. The exchange of secret ingredients. Asking a mother-in-law for a family recipe or showing her a new technique honors her experience while inviting her into your world. This exchange of knowledge is a form of mutual respect. It says, I value what you know and I want to share what I have with you. 3. Creating a physical blessing. Cooking is an act of creation. When you both put effort into a dish, the final product is a literal manifestation of your cooperation. Breaking bread over a meal you both labored over serves as a beautiful reminder of the nourishment found in unity. But remember, what works for one person might not work for another. If cooking together feels too crowded or stressful, common ground might be found elsewhere. Perhaps through a shared walk, a craft, or simply a mutual appreciation for a specific book or tradition. It is completely natural to feel a sting of disappointment when an intentional effort to bond, like cooking a meal together, doesn't go as planned. When tensions rise or the atmosphere feels heavy despite your best intentions, staying calm is an act of grace toward yourself and the other person. Now I'm sharing few ways to maintain your peace and keep your heart steady if things don't click in the kitchen. Reframe the outcome. 1. Sometimes we attach our success as a person to the success of an activity. If the meal preparation is stressful, remind yourself that effort was the goal, not the result. By God's grace, you showed up with a servant's heart. The fact that the bonding didn't happen perfectly this time doesn't mean the effort was wasted. It just means the soil might need more time. 2. Practice the internal pause. If you feel pulse rising or your frustration growing, use a physical anchor to stay grounded. The breath technique. Take a slow, deep breath before responding to a sharp comment. Stay away. If things feel heated, find a functional reason to step out of the room for a moment. I will just go grab the napkins, or let me check on the kids. Use those few seconds to offer a quick silent prayer for patience. 3. Lower the stakes. If the collaborative cooking starts to feel like a clash of two chefs, pivot to a simpler role. You might say, we have such a great handle on this main dish. Why don't I focus on setting the table and getting the drinks ready so we have more space? By stepping back, you remove the friction of two main cooks while still contributing to the shared goal of the family meal. 4. Lean into acceptance. As you wisely noted, what works for some might not work for others. Accepting that a mother-in-law or any family member may simply have a different communication style or a different way of showing love can be incredibly freeing. Release the expectation. You cannot control her reaction, only your own peace. Look for a micro wins. Maybe you didn't have a deep heart-to-heart, but you successfully finished the meal without an argument. In some cases, or some seasons, that is a victory worth celebrating. 5. Shift the focus to the why. When things fail, remind yourself why you are trying. If your goal is to honor the family and walk in intentionality, that purpose remains intact even if the afternoon was awkward. Peace comes from knowing your conscience is clear and your intentions were pure. Lastly, gentle pivot. When a moment in the kitchen starts to feel heavy, a gentle pivot is like opening a window to let fresh air into the room. It acknowledges the tension without making it a confrontation, allowing both of you to save face and find a new rhythm. Point number 4. Ways to gently pivot the conversation. If things feel tense while preparing a meal, try these bridge phrases to shift the energy. The humble ask. You have such a distinct way of doing this. Could you show me how you learned it? I would love to hear the story behind it. This shifts from friction to a storytelling. The graceful exit. I think I am getting a bit in your way here. Why don't I handle the table setting and the drinks so you have the space you need to work your magic? This diffuses too many cooks syndrome. The future focus. This dish smells wonderful. I was actually thinking about our next family gathering. Do you have any favorite traditions we should make sure to include? This moves the mind away from the current stress. The lighter note. I might be overthinking this recipe. Let's take a quick breather. Would you like a glass of water or tea while this simmers? This creates a physical pause. That's the end. If you like what I'm sharing and you haven't subscribed to my channel, may you kindly subscribe, share, and comment. Bye.